Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Watch my video and subscribes my channel. Sheila stunned by Lee's dark secret. Bold and the beautiful sees Lee Finnegan acting pretty strangely, and she may be sitting on a really twisted secret that Sheila Carter soon finds out and is totally surprised by. Bold and the beautiful. Lee's strange behavior. Alright, so I've said here before, and I know lots of people are with me on it, but Lee is being shady and nobody has seen Luna Nozawa's corpse. In fact, last we saw her, Lee and Bridget Forrester revived her during surgery. Luna was carted off to post-op recovery doing okay, all things considered. And it feels like to me there's a very good chance Luna's still alive and Lee is concealing her niece/granddaughter somewhere. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that Lee did this scam. But maybe this time with Luna, there's going to be a co-conspirator involved. Just before the shooting, Lee dramatically changed her mind regarding Luna, which stunned Finn, disturbed fans, but that's the uneven writing we get from Bold. Before the week of the shooting, prior to that, Lee had always urged Finn, stay away from Luna. She's dangerous and posed a major threat to Steffi Forrester. And Luna confined Steffi in a cage and left her for dead to be destroyed by a wrecking ball. Very old school Batman TV show type of death trap. So, Lee had this very low opinion of Luna. That was understandable. Bold and the beautiful. Sheila's shocked by Lee's twisted secret. Soap dirt. Bold and the beautiful. Lee's sudden shift. And then all of a sudden, right before the shooting, Lee did a 180 degrees and started talking about her as a victim. She told Finn she didn't think Luna was born bad. It was the fault of her pill-popping, man-chasing, skank, Mother Poppy Nozawa. Then, with no warning and no flatline scenario other than the one we saw during surgery that she pulled out of, next thing you know, Lee's in the waiting room telling Poppy that Luna up and died in recovery. That's when Putrid Poppy stated she was pleased her daughter died. This severely horrified Lee, who thought Luna never stood a chance with Poppy as her mom. So no, Lee doesn't condone what Luna did, but she also doesn't believe that it was all her fault. So there is a report going around from a highly trustworthy source that Luna is in a coma. And we know she has sequences on Bold and the Beautiful in September, which is, more than a month away. At the same time, we also know Lisa Yamada needed time off to film her new Amazon Prime series, Elle. So, from the moment when Lee unexpectedly stated that Luna died without us seeing it, I immediately suspected Lee was lying and had stowed Luna somewhere to help her recuperate from her gunshot wound and keep her away from Poppy, who is simply nasty. Bold and the beautiful. Sheila and Lee agree on Luna. There's not a lot of huge surprises that Bold pulls off on us, honestly. And there's one other individual in LA who feels pretty much the same way about Luna that Lee does. And that is Finn's other mother, Sheila Carter. She also adores Luna. And she also blames Lee's horrible sister, Poppy, for how Luna ended out. Sheila wanted Luna to leave Steffi and Finn alone. She tried to encourage Luna to leave LA and establish a new life for herself abroad. And merely related to that, there's a couple more red flags waving recently about Lee. First, out of nowhere, she stopped by Il Giardino to meet Sheila, a woman who she despises. And Lee told Sheila that the two of them were the only ones that had been pulling for Luna. Then Sheila informed Lee that she's upset since Luna died and nobody cares. And this is where the second red flag really started waving for me. Bold and the beautiful. Lee repeats history. Sheila inquired about a memorial service for Luna, and Lee told Sheila, it's already done. It's handled. Now, if you remember, this is almost the same phraseology that Lee used with Steffi after Finn supposedly died in 2022. Steffi tried to talk to Lee about a memorial service for Finn, but she told Steffi, I'll take care of everything when it comes to my son. And Steffi assumed Lee had been cremated before she could even see him one last time. And now here we are, practically a similar position. Of course, at the time, Steffi thought that Lee had had Finn cremated while she was still in the hospital, knocked out from her own gunshot wound back in 2022. And of course, Lee was lying. Finn was still alive. He was comatose, and Lee was secretly nursing him back to health. You may remember she was taking care of Finn, and then Sheila showed up at Lee's apartment demanding to know where her son was buried or his ashes were so she could say farewell to him. And that's when Sheila heard medical devices beeping, and she fought her way into Lee's flat and found an unconscious Finn. Sheila freaked out. She wanted to take Finn to the hospital. Lee said no. There was violence that ensued back then. Sheila told Lee, "You're even crazier than I am." And that led to the whole thing where Sheila chased down Lee, ran her off the road, nearly killed her. And then Sheila took over caring for Finn. Bottom line, Sheila was right. I think Lee is just as crazy as she is. And she knows Sheila would do anything for those she loves, including Luna. Bold and the beautiful, Lee loops Sheila in. So, not only do I assume Lee has done the same thing with Luna that she did with Finn, this time I suspect that Lee is going to shock Sheila with the truth. I suppose Lee might genuinely invite Sheila to come by her apartment and show her, "Hey, Luna's alive but comatose. Just like I took care of Finn, I'm taking care of Luna. Just like I saved Finn's life, I'm saving Luna's life." And no doubt Sheila would be happy that Luna survived, and she would be all in on helping Lee nurture their grandchild back to health. And absolutely Sheila would keep it a secret, even from Deacon. I believe Lee is entirely focused on attempting to preserve Luna's life with the thought in mind she'll figure out what's next after that. You know, no reason to even get what-ifs unless she thinks she can save her. You know, whether that's helping her granddaughter sneak out of town and start new somewhere else, or give herself into the cops and face the penalties. I tend to think Lee would probably want Luna to be accountable for her actions, whereas Sheila would want to get Luna out of LA rather than go to prison. So, that's a matter for another day. Bold and the beautiful, Lee counting on Sheila. I assume Lee stopped in on Sheila to test the waters and see if Luna's claimed death was hitting Sheila truly hard. I suppose Lee is considering Sheila as a possible co-schemer, because that way while Lee's at work at the hospital, Sheila can go over there and take care of Luna. She used to be a nurse, remember? So, Lee wouldn't raise any eyebrows by missing hospital shifts. And I do think she knows she could trust Sheila to take good care of Luna and protect her. So we may soon see Lee revealing comatose Luna to Sheila. We know Luna's got another new episode in September. However, I want to show you something. TV Guide actually posted a spoiler for Monday, July 21st, and none of the spoilers happen, but they were posted on TV Guide. And that is a very trustworthy site. So, it said 3 things I think that we need to talk about. One is about Steffi and Hope, but it spelled out Stephanie, which was weird. And then it says Liam and Bill have a serious chat. That didn't happen. And Luna lies in a coma. Also didn't happen. Bold and the beautiful. So, here's the snapshot that I received from TV Guide's official site. I discussed it in our weekly spoilers video with the caveat that I had seen it nowhere else than on tvguide.com. So I was reporting with a grain of salt, and I also did the screenshot. So now I'm showing it to you. Maybe the spoiler is valid, but the date was wrong. We'll absolutely have to simply wait and see. But I think we can all agree it was incredibly odd for Luna to die off-screen. I suppose Lee might have been testing Poppy when she told her Luna was dead to observe her reaction and then pulled her aside to speak privately, and Poppy failed the test. But I do think Sheila passed the test. So, I have to admit it'd be strange to see Lee setting aside her loathing of Sheila, who shot their son Finn, to plot with her to discreetly nurture Luna back to health. That's where I suspect this is going. It's a repetition storyline 100%. That's what Bold does. Let me know what you think. Lee shares secret with Sheila. Is Luna alive and undergoing face surgery? Bold and the beautiful presumably has Sheila Carter and Lee Finnegan being friends for a reason. It might be that Luna Nozawa is still alive on the CBS soap. And if so, a tail storyline for the killing granddaughter and her 2 grandparents could be in the cards. But if she is alive, no one but these 2 grandmothers will care. Well, except maybe for Finn. But even if he does care, he can't show it. So will B&B do something different this time, like eventually have Luna surface alive with a new face, thanks to plastic surgery? This is one fan notion that looks far-fetched, But then again, this is B&B. Bold and the Beautiful. Lee Finnegan has the know-how. Lee Finnegan kept Finn alive on Bold and the Beautiful without anybody knowing after he was labeled dead. Even Steffi Forrester was ignorant of her dead spouse rising from the ashes under Lee's care. So why can't Lee do it again? But it was back when Sheila Carter shot both Steffi and Finn. Things changed drastically since that time when Lee and Sheila became mortal enemies. Today, B&B fans assume Luna is alive, and they also suggest Lee is checking out Sheila before she exposes her secret. Bold and Beautiful 2 week, spoilers July 21st to August 1st. Luna in coma and Finn suspicious, soap dirt. B&B. Sheila Carter heartbroken over Luna's death. Sheila stated to Lee how heartbroken she is about the passing of Luna Nozawa on a recent Bold and Beautiful episode. Sheila is crushed that no one cares about the death of her granddaughter. But now she found a like soul in Luna's other grandmother, Lee, who also cared. Bold and the Beautiful followers claim Luna is alive and that Lee is doing the same thing for her as she did for Finn after the doctors pronounced him dead. But until Luna recuperates from that bullet wound, she can't show her face in public. She especially can't expose her face to family. If she did, they would have her whisked off to jail. The only way that Luna can come back to the Bold and the Beautiful screen and wander free is if people don't realize it is her. So, this fan theory argues that Luna's 2 grandmothers fix it, so she not only lives her life but lives it as a free woman with a new face. Bold and the Beautiful grandmas, Lee and Sheila, fix it for Luna? It looked like Lee was warming up to Sheila this week, as these two shared something in common. Both love Luna, and they don't blame her for turning into a deranged murderer. Lee Finnegan blames her sister, Luna's mother, Poppy Nozawa. She also blames herself for not stepping in as her aunt while Luna was growing up. Bold and the Beautiful early spoilers July 28th to August 1st. Ridge strays, Steffi caves, soap dirt. So, Lee may feel the need to give Luna the chance she never had. And after seeing how unhappy Sheila Carter feels about the loss of her granddaughter, Lee may take her on as a partner if she's been keeping Luna's secret. But this could stretch even further, rather than just doing a reboot of coming back to life. Maybe Luna gets a new face so she could get another opportunity at life. Daphne and Carter hang out and look at gowns. She picks one she likes. She recognizes how essential this trip is and suggests to insulting the journalists. Daphne is setting up a special gift for Brooke, Eric, and Ridge to ship to Italy to market the new smell. Carter's impressed and tells Daphne he's missed seeing her. Carter, Daphne, B&B. Daphne is confident Carter misses her. She's missed him too. She's just astonished he said it. He assures her they're friends, and he's pleased to see her again. Daphne points out it hasn't been that long. He asks how long she's staying this time. Giving him an odd look, she responds, "We'll see." More. Ashley Jones mourns Malcolm Jamal Warner. What's Ridge's problem? In the design office, Ridge complains to Eric that Nick is there. He asked him to leave, but Brooke wanted to chat with him. "I don't want him to come to Italy with us," he exclaims. Eric feels his kid should go deep to find why Nick gets to him so badly. Ridge growls that he's a self-serving bastard. That's why. He gets a call and finds out that his man has found the silk shipment. It's with Marone's shipping business. Ridge disconnects and cautions Eric he's messing with us. Ridge B&B. Ridge barks that he talked to Nick about the silk, and he never said a thing. He's toying with their business and thinks it's a huge joke. Eric says first it's the silk, and later it will be Brooke. "You've got to stop him, Ridge." In the main office, Nick assures Brooke that nothing compares to the splendor of Italy. "Let's enjoy it together." She tells him this isn't a vacation. He can make it into one. Nick recalls that she likes being on the water, much like him. Nick gushes about the magic of it all and tells her that Italy loves her too. Does she actually want to be in a series of formal meetings? She could see Italy with him and make a little magic, kid. Brooke giggles. Nick, Brooke, B&B. Brooke tells Nick he's painting a wonderful image. Nick wants her to understand how he feels. She's flattered. Ridge appears and confronts Nick about having an agenda. He came for lies and treachery, like he always does. Ridge tells Brooke that their silk is aboard his boat. Nick smirks that he tried to convince him he had business there, but Ridge wouldn't let him speak. More heinous twist in Liam's story still to come. Brooke asks Nick whether this is real. Nick answers it's not the way Ridge intends it. He pulls out his phone and approves the release of the silk. Ridge tells him he's starting to piss him off. He likes to come and muck with people's lives, and he's not going to do that to Logan. Nick shouts at him to shut up and quit calling her Logan. You're marrying another woman. Taylor Hayes' revenge sleeps with Bill Spencer? The bold and the beautiful spoilers had maintained for a long that Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan were endgame, and Taylor Hayes is heading for Calamity. We all assumed after Ridge dumped Taylor and got back together with Brooke that Steffi Forrester's parents would leave town again. But what if she decides to stay in Los Angeles? Will Taylor Hayes end up hitting the sheets with Ridge's mortal enemy? And we're not talking about Nick Marone. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful. Spoilers down below. A bridge reunion. Brooke and Ridge are planned to fly to Naples, Italy this month for work. According to B&B spoilers, when Bridge returns they will be happily reunited.